Math terms. Types of functions. Alright, so there's absolute value, piecewise step, linear, discontinuous, and constant. All of these functions do different things, so just take a second and I'll teach you something. So first there's absolute value, which is the distance from 0. It forms a V but can do tricks though. It can turn upside down and side to side to what is added to x, though it tries to hide. Add a negative sign and it will flip. Sometimes the V even takes a trip. It moves different places on the graph. It may move up 3 and then over half. Remember, there's absolute value, piecewise step, linear, discontinuous, and constant. All of these functions do different things, so just take a second and I'll teach you something. Next there's piecewise. Don't get confused, guys. It's simpler than it looks, so you don't need any big size. It's a function with one or more formulas. Don't let it confuse one of you. It usually has points heading in different directions. They are also split into sections. You can get the equations from the line. If you find 2 points in the slope, you'll be fine. Remember, there's absolute value, piecewise step, linear, discontinuous, and constant. All of these functions do different things, so just take a second and I'll teach you something. Step functions are what's up, but they can also go down. They don't look like functions because they're clowning around. They pass the vertical line test because some of the points have this special zest. If an open circle and a closed circle on the same x-axis, it's still a function, and there's reasoning for this. If a function moves up, the right point is filled, but when you go down, it's opposite. Guess that's part of the step function build. Remember, there's absolute value, piecewise step, linear, discontinuous, and constant. All of these functions do different things, so just take a second and I'll teach you something. Linear functions are straight lines, or the x changes at a constant rate with the y. And here are the signs. Linear functions can be described as y equals mx plus b. Can't you see? The m is the slope and the b is the y-intercept. This is the point on the vertical line where the line is swept. Remember, there is absolute value, piecewise step, linear, discontinuous, and constant. All these functions do different things, so just take a second and I'll teach you something. Discontinuous, so we can talk about next. It's a function that has breaks or bends in them. You can look in the book. It's in the text. So if a line has a break or just isn't straight, it's still a function. It's not too late. Some examples of this are step and absolute value. Sometimes discontinuous functions can wow you. An absolute value is a v, and a step function has many breaks in he. Remember, there's absolute value, piecewise step, linear, discontinuous, and constant. All of these functions do different things, so just take a second and I'll teach you something. Constant functions are quite easy. There are very few rules, so listen to me. A constant function is when y or x equals a value. There are no other variables, and if you're confused how to graph, I'll show you how to. From a point a straight line is made. The y is horizontal, the x is vertical. This is how the lines are laid. Remember, there's absolute value, piecewise step, linear, discontinuous, and constant.